Hello and good evening. I'm honored to be with you here tonight. Although this gala looks very different than what we all imagined, we have a lot to share with you and a lot to celebrate for the 75-year history of the Citizens Committee for Children of New York. Of course, we must acknowledge that we're dealing with an incredibly challenging situation, a time when disparities and injustice are front and center, and the magnitude of issues that must be addressed can sometimes feel overwhelming. Tonight, we're going to take stock of where CCC has been and focus on where they are heading.
I have as my guests today Mrs. David Levy and Mrs. Marshall Field. All three of us are members of an organization known as the Citizens Committee on Children of New York City. Of all of the many citizens groups in which I've been interested, this one has a rather special appeal.
75 years ago, CCC was founded during World War II with the radical vision that all children had human rights. Irrespective of race, ethnicity, geography, income, or religion, all children had the right to be healthy, housed, and educated and safe. This unique approach to advocacy was also grounded in the belief that in order to be effective, we had to rely upon the facts, civic engagement, and community mobilization. And while over 7 decades, the tools and methods we use have evolved dramatically, we have remained true to our central mission and these core pillars.
The inimitable Eleanor Roosevelt once famously said, "The world of the future is in our making. Tomorrow is now." Her words ring ever more true today, and they are apparent in the urgency of your work and your mission at CCC. At this critical moment in our city's history, it is clear that tomorrow is now, that the decisions we make today will have an enduring impact on all of our futures.
CCC has developed what I would describe as a children's Bill of Rights. To CCC, every child in New York City has certain inalienable rights and liberties. Among them, the right to a safe and secure shelter, the right to a quality education, the right to stable health care and health services, the right to healthy and affordable food, the right to basic financial stability, the right to a fair juvenile justice system. And today, every one of those inalienable rights is in peril.
Clearly, 2020 is not 1945, and yet the crises we find ourselves in and the rebuilding effort in many ways feels like a war effort. COVID-19 has ravaged our public health, it's crippled our economy, and it's laid bare profound race and ethnic disparities, such that children and families across this city, from Black and Brown communities, are bearing a disproportionate burden of the pandemic and the economic decline.
We believe in CCC and feel our investment in the future of New York City and its children is so important. I think you'll also understand why CCC is so close to our hearts. And Fred, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, CCC is a fantastic organization, and I'm thrilled to be associated with it. And they do great things for all of our children.
CCC's unique strength is that it specializes in nonpartisan, fact-based advocacy for children. Its ability to compile and analyze data independently without government funding ensures that CCC's conclusions on what works and what does not work for children and families are grounded in actual facts, not the alternative kind.
In response to our sobering, stark reality, I'm announcing this evening that CCC is creating a Child Advocacy Fund. Through this fund, CCC seeks to inform pandemic recovery efforts in ways that confront the drivers of inequity and systemic racism and promotes child safety, child well-being, and economic mobility for all children.
Because we are Citizens Committee for Children, we think that we should involve the voices of young people in all that we do and really center their narratives when advocating for programs and policies that impact youth.
Being involved in CCC's Youth Action Program, it really opened my eyes to the world of politics and policies, in which it helped my ability to really help others and work with others to reach a solution to issues that, really impact the day-to-day lives of students around New York City.
When you click on a PS22 video, you see children from all different races, religions, cultures, home situations, personal challenges, and they're all coming together. They perform individually, but there's a unity in their performances, and that's the harmony that I refer to. With all the crazy going on in the world today, we need to look to and look out for the children. And that's just what the Citizens Committee for Children of New York does on a daily basis.
Go, 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 shawty, it's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's your birthday. Get smarty like it's your birthday. And we don't give a dang 'cause it's your birthday.
Right now, we can all agree that at a time when we're so divided in so many ways, this is something we can get behind. Especially now during the time of COVID-19, it's absolutely essential that we allow CCC to do its absolutely vital work in the city to support those most vulnerable in this community.
For 75 years, CCC has advocated for the human rights of all children. And in this moment, we must and we will push ourselves as an organization and a community to dig deeper and go farther. To quote the Honorable Ruth Bader Ginsburg, "Fight for the things you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you." And so as we conclude an evening in which we celebrate CCC and acknowledge our friends and partners, I ask that we recommit ourselves to work together to achieve a city, state, and a nation in which the lives of all children are distinguished by the presence of equity, justice, and well-being.